society expectation. So, most of us have faced these challenges at some point of our life, which makes this topic very deeply relatable to all of us. So, in today's discussion on youth and stress in the 21st century, our aim would to understand these struggles and hear the voice of all the youths and explore a healthy way to cope and grow. So, let me just first introduce you with our respected anchors. So we have Miss Rashi Juneja ma'am, and she is an RCA licensed clinical psychologist with over 3 years of experience. And she is a director of Mindies Psychological Service and Wellness Center and a consultant psychologist at Sant Permanand Hospital that is located in Delhi. So she also has a strong expertise in therapy, assessment, and research in mental health. Secondly, we have Dr. Shubhra Sandal ma'am. So she is currently a counselor at OHPI and New Delhi and working in mental health and social rehabilitation. So she's post retirement. She's engaged in national research, including Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Fellowship on Rehabilitation Release prisoners. She continued to contribute through counseling, research, and authorship. She lead the Indian delegation to SAP conference to Pakistan in 1988. Thirdly, we have Mr. Shubham Thakur, sir, and she's an education as well as counseling psychologist, currently leading our PsyConnect, a mental health and educational startup that is incubated at the ETL Incubation Center in BHU. He has led multiple projects with government schools in more than 7 states, focusing basically on the mental health, promoting skill development as well as career guidance training. So, in recognition of his contribution, he was honored at the National Summit Bharat Innovation Conclave at BHU and received an endorsement from Dr. Mahesh Sharma. In addition to his political career, he is a physician by profession and is associated with the Kalesh Group of Hospital. So now I would like to just give a introduction about our youth speaker. So I would like you all to open your camera and simply tell your name, where you are located, and currently pursuing the course. So we have Jasmine with us. So yeah, Jasmine, you can just introduce yourself. Jasmine is here.
Yeah, hello. I was just traveling. That's why I have turned off my camera. Sorry for that.
No.
I'm Jasmine. I'm currently pursuing my master's first year from BHU,
Okay.
Vasanta College.
Okay. Thank you, Jasmine. Now we have Nancy with us. Nancy. Okay. I think she hasn't joined it. We have Priyanka.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Priyanka Roy, currently pursuing my master's from BHU Vasanta College, first year.
Okay, thank you, Priyanka. We have Kalyani with us.
Hello everyone, myself Kalyani Yadav and I'm pursuing psychology honors. This is my first semester and I'm from Arjamila PC College, BHU.
Okay, we have Ananya Roy. Ananya. Okay, I think few of students have not yet joined. So uh we have Bhumi. We have Bhumi with us. Okay, we have Namrit.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I am Nimrit Aluwalia, and I'm currently pursuing Bachelor's in Psychology from OP Jindal Global University.
Okay, we have Saurabh with us. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Saurav Kant, I'm here, and I did my UG and PG from BHU, and right now I'm doing my PhD from Central University of Punjab. Thank you.
Okay, I think we are done with all, or anybody is left out, so they can just call their name and tell their place and location. We are done with all, right? Okay, okay, let's begin further, guys. So, before we begin with the discussion, Here are a few guidelines that everyone need to follow to maintain the harmony during the discussion, because I don't want to create any sort of stress. So kindly use the raise hand feature before speaking to avoid the interruption. And you may turn on your video if you are comfortable, and it will help you to for better engagement. It is not pressurized. So please listen carefully, take a brief note, and build on each other points. Have patience. Everyone will get an equal chance to share their views. So basically, coming on to the stress, it is a very general and a very common topic, and but it is very serious as well as growing concern among today's youth, right? Because everyone sitting here having some sort of stress, whether it is personal, relationship, or anything. So from report from institute like IITs and NITs. Has shown that 98 student has suicide between 2019 to 2023. Just look at the estimation, and 60% of the students citing academic stress as the main trigger. So these alarming trend reflects that how intense academic pressure deeply affects the students' well-being. So what do you guys think that does these estimation and the current status of stress among the youth in India, and are these numbers so surprising? And what do they tell us about the challenges that young people are facing today? What do you guys think that the major source of stress, the very common source of stress, that is academic and career pressure? What do you guys think that how it is affecting our youth? So you guys can just raise your hands so that I can call you one by one. Okay, Navneet.
Sanjana, just a minute, just to give it a lift. The thing is this that many of people, may not be able to come forward with their problem, but the problems are there. What I want to just, facilitate, and I think, she will also agree there. One thing is that today, to say that a youth is not having stress is something a misnomer. Because with the progressive world and the society competing in it, India is nowhere at the back. They all the pressures, you can say, they are falling on youth. Try to understand that. And now the thing is this: the moment a child is growing up, begins the expectation from the parents. That is one we have to touch. In this during this deliberations, what I'm trying, and I had discussed with Shubham, bring in the focal points for discussion and let this continue, because our issue is not simply to project, to also find out redressal methods. So therefore, when we see that a child is growing, before he's understanding, before he's realizing that he has certain responsibility, he's trusted with moral values, he's trusted with roles and responsibilities, and the word expectations. That is a very big thing. There is a formula. If a person is not able to rise up to that expectation, there is a paradigm. If the result and expectation, there's a lot of difference, then we use the word problem. There is a problem. Now, who is seeing the problem? Parents are saying this child is a problem child. Child says my parents are problems because they are not understanding. Here starts the stress. The word stress starts from here. And then as the child moves into the school with that frame of mind, then how he will try to adjust and adapt in the school environment. So, you try to take the trail like this and try to go inner into every children, because all your students who are on this platform may not be an extrovert. They may just listen to you attentively and say, here I am. I'm one of them. So your this very objective of having this discussion is to bring out their inner self. Bring out their inner self, as a psychologist will understand, so that they come forth and say, yes, this is my issue, and they may go to the counselor or they may speak up here also. So this is my viewpoint, because stress, I also have stress, you have. But the type of stress the youth are experiencing today are leading to their committing suicide. IIT, Kanpur has recent
Exactly.
instance, which, instigated me to take this topic and give it to Shivam. Because why? When a child is going to study and he's going to magnify his skill and he's going to make an importance, a space for himself, he's committing suicide. That means there's a gap of understanding. So when when you focus, try to do it like this, that Children who are there, they understand that you are speaking for them. This is all I want to say. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. A very good point was pointed out by Shubhra ma'am. We all agree on it that basically we always hide because everyone is having stress in their life, right? Me, you, everyone have their own challenges. So, but hiding it, keeping it inside, and just bombarding it is something that unconsciously it come out in a very negative manner. So that thing had to be pointed because we have seen those suicidal cases. It is not a very simple thing for a child to take the step of being suicide, right? I also sometimes think that let look at the pressure, that how much pressure he or she would be having that they committed a suicide. Even IIT students are like genius, they have a very good mind and they still doing these things. So it is very an important concern, and parents, I think that ma'am, parents also have a great role over this because like having a strict parenting style actually actually students think that they should keep their own personal things with themselves, they don't need to share with anyone, and this ultimately bombard themselves to do such things. So Namrat, you just want to extend something on it? You just raised it.
Yes, actually, Ma'am Shubhra gave a very good point, which I was about to say that often when we are stressed, the small signs from which the stress begins, I think that is often overlooked, not even by the people around us, but also by ourselves. We don't notice the small signs which add up to the big things, that is the academic pressure, for example. So, like for example, when I very recently when I was giving my board exams, I remember when I used to study early in the morning. I used to get up, study for 2 3 hours, and when I was like, okay, I'm done for now. But taking a break also at that point felt very guilty to me because it felt like, oh, I'm not doing enough. If I take a break, what will I do? And even the people around me would also say that, oh,
Yeah,
you
that's
you, you don't
quite
have to study.
relatable with me
You're
as
not
well. I
studying.
was the
So
same.
I think these small things also add up to the big academic pressures, which often goes overlooked not only by people around but also by us. So I think it is a point that we also in ourselves should reflect, that we address these small stressors in our life so that they don't turn up into something big. I mean, they can be controlled before it can turn into something big.
Even what do you guys think that the high expectation from family and society, even the constant competition, the entrance exams, and the uncertain about job prospect also create a persistent anxiety as well as self doubt, right? So okay, uh, we we have
Raise
Shubhi.
it. Mm.
Yeah, you want to just share something? You can just open up your camera and speak up.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I want to continue the same point only, that the academic pressure only. I think society had made certain limits or certain scenarios where we have to compete ourselves and push ourselves to a situation where taking break of 15 minutes also feel like we are doing something wrong, makes us feel guilty, because that is what is set in our mind, that we have to continuously study for 8 to 9 hours so that we are able to crack some good institute, government institutes. So the already formed image, the society image we think we share, also creates this certain kind of pressure in us, which leads to stress, that I want to share.
Yeah, exactly. And one more point is just coming into my mind that nowadays digital life has also become a very powerful source of stress among youth. According to the survey that indicate that 75% of the youth peoples compare themselves with the social media, and like social media leading to high reel effect and all that, shaming of body shaming and all that. So, as per the 60% of the report, that digital fatigue due to the constant scrolling and notification, information overload, even like this is something that ultimately lead to anxiety, and these patterns significantly increases the stress as well as insecurity, emotional exhaustion as well. So, what do you guys think that how can young people create healthier boundaries with technology? While still staying connected in today's digital world. So, Saurabh, would you like to just add up any point in it? Okay, we have Kalyani as well. After Saurabh, Kalyani would be proceeding.
Uh, okay, thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak. So right now, I think Suvi said about expectation. That's very right. expectation what parents and society keeps with us, that creates a benchmark for us to follow, and if not followed, then they make us feel some cognitive gap or deficit, and that creates stress. One thing I like to add to it is we are actually socially conditioned. For example, I do remember when I was a child, so every time when I used to go to my hostel, like leaving my home after vacations or anywhere, my parents used to say कि मन लगाकर पढ़ना, अच्छे से पढ़ना, समय बर्बाद मत करना, ज्यादा खेल कूद मत करना, टीवी नहीं देखना. So, and it is not, I think it's my personal experience. It is something that is very common to our generation, right? Like I'm around 25, 26 years old right now. So what I can tell ki any youth who is at my stage or my age, they must be connecting to this particular thing. So when you come up, to your school institution with such, teachings, ki khelna is very similar to barbadi of time wastage. And when you come to know that, if you mingle so much with your friends, then you are going to waste your time. So what happens ki when you do those things na, then you get that feeling, yeah, there is something wrong that I'm doing. And that might be wrong at that point of time in their own view. But if you see it with the perspective of, other things, for example, if I'm meeting my friends, I'm also improving my social communication. I'm also improving my relationships, right? If I'm going outside and playing, it is also, giving me an opportunity to, inculcate habits like leadership, like, unity, like cohesiveness, inclusivity. So what mismatches is that at that point of time when we were child na, so our parents could not understand, or they could not infuse this sense ki if you do those activities, so others benefit can also be there, which we later find it, or which we later found out when we get engaged into such a community or such activity. So that becomes a deficit, because at some time it is not going the way how our parents teach, at the same time it is having some value to it. So this conflict, even in spite of having some positivity in that playing or in togetherness, one time we are feeling that no, I'm not doing the things what our parents have asked for us to do. So this, I can means there is inbuilt dilemma, what to do, what not to do. Even if you're doing something good, still you feel that no, you're not something doing good from other side, from others perspective, because you have not been socially conditioned like that. And I think that's what creates the biggest barrier for us, because even in spite of knowing that we are doing good, for example, so we said about taking breaks. There are multiple studies which says that if your study is deliberately distributed, right? Like if you study for 40 minutes, take break for 5 or 10 minutes, then again study for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, then that enhances your efficiency. But now the thing is, any of us is conditioned in such a manner, taught in such a manner, you should study for long hours. Even in spite of having some good impact of that distributed practice or distributed study, we are not able to make peace with ourselves, even in spite of what we are, that is good for us. So what I am trying to tell shortly, ki the social conditioning that happens with us, many times they get in conflict with what the things we require to do at that point of time, and that creates a sense of a stress or conflict within our mind. I think that is something which we need to either make peace with ourselves or change the cognitive construct as well, which can help us in longer term. Hope I am clear. Thank you.
Yeah, very correctly said by Saurabh. So, Shubhra ma'am, like, would you like to guide us that how we can balance a healthy relationship between that digital life? Because being away from digital and digital platforms in 21st century is like impossible, because we have lot of study material as well as other things on social media. So, like, how we can create a healthy boundaries so that it don't affect us in a negative way. It just provide us as a facilitator in our education. So how we can create these healthy boundaries between the digital life that it don't affect in any form, like.
Sanjana, I was just thinking, you had a counselor in your midst, Rashi. She is the one who is handling, all these issues that are coming every now. You can invite her. She was there here. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she will be the right, but I, being from now, yesteryears now, the digital and all are coming now. But my root core, I being a psychologist, of course, I'm a criminal psychologist, but being a core, I'm trying to touch that stress comes when stress comes when we start putting pressure on our children. I, as a parent, if I am following certain moral values are attached with stress, mind you, do this, do this, do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, a set of moral values at the first instance put by the parents, but they themselves don't follow. Mind you, that is a discrepancy. They are not following. And you are bound to follow those moral values along with the expectations that they're putting on you. From there comes the stress. अचानक नहीं उत्पन्न हो जाता है. स्ट्रेस आपके दिमाग में रहती है और वो स्ट्रेस चलती रहती है जब आप स्कूल लाइफ में भी जाते हैं, कॉलेज लाइफ में भी जाते हैं. एंड एज अ रिजल्ट क्या होता है कि यू आर हेजिटेंट टू मीट विद पीपल, यू आर हेजिटेंट टू चूज योर करियर. You when you plan your career, then if you're not getting at the first instance, you're immediately getting frustrated. And me being a person in criminology, I have finding the rise in youth in crime. Who are these people? They are not come from elsewhere. They are those very people who have failed in their job and frustrated, disappointed, alienated, and they felt the best thing they think as a revolt, go violent, commit crime.
Exactly.
Heinous types of crimes are committed by juveniles these days just because they are frustrated. So I think Rashi is there. She will now take you
Yes,
the thing.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, Rashi, ma'am. Would you like to just add on few points on it?
I am sorry, Saurabh was talking and my network just went off. So
No, no.
sorry, I'm sorry that I disappeared in the middle. Second, I missed that line. Can I know where I ended, like where I left the chat?
You're talking about digital,
Yeah, we are talking about that how digital life is being influencing and playing a key role in stress and all. So how we can create a healthy boundaries, because staying away from digital world in 21st century is where it's like impossible. We can't even think of it. So we just need some points that how we can create such healthy boundaries, those
Okay.
that it don't affect us in a negative manner.
Okay. Firstly, we have to understand, greetings to everyone, and we have to understand that human body is a machine. If you won't take break at the right time, either it'll hang or it's gonna collapse. Choice
Yeah.
is yours. And it's very important. Your body is so beautiful, you'll figure out that it sends you signal when it is on the stage of burnout. You get tired in the morning, you are not getting up fresh in the morning, frequent headaches, frequent cold and cough, frequent infections. So your body is actually telling you that it's on a very compromising state right now. So
Exactly.
firstly, the most important thing is you are aware that your body is giving you a sign. इससे ज़्यादा नहीं हो पा रहा आपसे. Take break. Don't. मेरा कहना बहुत आसान है. It's very easy for me to think, tell you guys to think कि you don't have to compare yourselves when everybody around you gonna compare you.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you have to think whom you want to give that power that whenever they talk, they should impact you. Somebody working in the same setup that I am working does not really mean that I am friends with that person. That person can be an acquaintance or a colleague, right? So, in such
Exactly.
a case, how much power do you wish to give to that person that they should impact your daily living? Very clear. So, it is your choice whom you want to allow to enter your close knitted circle and with whom you want to keep a distance. I often say that even when a relationship is turning toxic, I often say it's good to have a distance and respect each other rather than living under the same roof every day, cribbing about things, abusing each other, and ultimately, ending things on a bad note. So create a healthy boundary, a healthy distance. Make things clear with anybody. Now, when we talk about boundary, we need another human around us to have a boundary. So this can be any relationship per se, can be parents, friends, partner of romantic relationship, anybody. So everybody needs to know that what their boundary is. And at times we also have a tendency to cross boundaries. हम लोग जोक जोक में बहुत कुछ बोल देते हैं. And then we get to know later through some third person that, oh, that person got hurt. So boundary.
Even I have seen, ma'am, that a single comment a person is thinking from 2 weeks about it, that how that person commented in that way and that all, because social media is something, is someone is posting something and everyone is commenting on it. So it, like, they are just wasting their entire week of thinking of it, like,
But
to this
here
extent social media is influencing everyone.
does because it just tells you the beautiful side of the life of people and not the ugly sides. Okay, आप किसी इंसान को उतना ही जानते हैं जितना वो इंसान चाहता है आप उसे जाने. Always remember this. So you're only knowing that part of the life which is shown to you and nothing else. Now, second point here is it often happens that a lot of times there are thousand things going on in a head. But are all those 10,000 things going to give you anxiety? No. Only that one thought that you are giving attention to going to create or enlarges in its size and gives you anxiety. Next important point here is every time this anxiety is not necessary to be daily life hassle. It can be some clinical condition also like OCD. It can also turn into depressive episode. It can also turn into something called panic attack, XYZ. I'm not labeling anyone here, but I'm just giving you a brief idea in the limited time that how it can turn into different things. Right.
Exactly.
So the first management is to take break at the right time. If you fail in that, maintain boundaries. If you fail in that, try to express yourself. Go and seek help. It's very similar that if somebody is having a, let's say, family property cases, and you have all the knowledge, but you don't have the degree. So you have to go to the lawyer or an advocate for that matter, right? At the same, in the same way, you know that you are around people who you know since childhood or for a long time or even from a for a brief time, but they know you and you know them, so there's a tendency to judge. So you have to go to somebody who has a non-judgmental attitude and training to handle things from the same perspective. So you go to a professional for that. Seek help. That is the last time because it needs a lot of courage for someone to take that step that I have to end up in a psychological setting or a psychiatric setting. उसके already सारे resources खत्म हो चुके हैं. When I say resources,
Exactly.
I do not mean finances. No, I mean physical resources, emotional resources, spiritual resources, any kind of dependency that you have on anybody. हर तरह की coping resilience सब खत्म हो गई तभी वो आप तक पहुंच पाया as a professional. So then it's my duty, my role comes here that as a clinical psychologist, as a licensed professional, I have to handle it with confidentiality, with unconditional positive regard, with all that ethical connotations that are attached to it. And to provide that safe space where the person can express themselves. What exactly is the problem that is happening? And many a times, social media in 80% of the cases is the escape.
Yeah, exactly.
So if it's becoming coping, it's not a good coping. We have to see what else we can, you know, get into the picture and remove social media from there. So that vacuum can be fulfilled with something more constructive that is available for us. And that is more connected on a human level. Social media, pe you can talk to media, but media can't talk back to you.
Exactly. So ultimately, it's depend on us whom to prioritize or whom to not. It is
Exactly.
not the social media influencing us. We have the control, right?
And one just last point, and then youth can continue with that. That when you're giving power to somebody, make sure वो power कितनी देनी है. It's very simple. This is your thought. This is your attention. Both are of same size. Thought वही है, attention बढ़ती जा रही तो thought भी तो बढ़ेगा साथ में. And it would eventually engulf you. And you'll ultimately end up having a panic attack or a crying spell or a burnout. कुछ भी कह लो आप उसको. सो मेक श्योर आप किसको वो लिबर्टी दे रहे हो और कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हमारे पास कोई है ही नहीं बात करने के लिए. सो व्हेन वी कांट चेंज द एनवायरनमेंट वी स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन आवरसेल्व्स.
Yeah, exactly.
सो द फोकस शुड बी सेल्फ हियर. कंटिन्यू.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. So we have Shubri. So would you like to add on something? You have raised your hand.
Yeah, hi. So to continue with Shubhra ma'am and Rashi ma'am, so they said something about generational trauma. Shubhra ma'am said something about generational trauma. I feel like we should at this point as a youth prioritize ourselves first, keeping the healthy boundaries, which would help us. And we have to, I'm saying, because we have to unlearn the negative things we have learned from our family, from our society, which are harming ourselves. Like setting the unrealistic boundaries. If I know that my IQ is this much and with the hard work I can achieve this college, so hoping for something like, let's talk about JE right now. JE is the current trending topic right now because JE exams are going on. So if I know I am studying for non-medical, and the higher aim will always be IIT, but when I know that I cannot achieve that, so I have to obtain something out of it, that I have to choose options which are suitable for me. So we have to unlearn that unrealistic priorities we are setting because of our parents की IIT ही एक last option है, या फिर IIT के बाद आपका इतना पैकेज होगा, that is something which will define you. We have to unlearn that generational trauma. Second, we somehow subconsciously do this thing that we put, or we escape through social media. We put the stories out there. We put uh, in hate comments out there, telling people how they're dressing, they're not looking good, just because somebody told us that same point and it hurted us. So we feel like that this is the escape. That some people do the complete opposite thing, just to feel let themselves feel better. They write the positive comments out there. So excess positivity and excess negativity both are very wrong, because when you're being
Yeah,
very
excess of
positive,
everything is harmful.
yeah, so we have to balance that, because we have to prioritize ourselves, which I feel like, because at the end you are with you. You can ask help from anybody, but I have seen people changing counselors to counselor just because they feel like, no, it is not helping me. In fourth session they are just discontinuing these sessions, or ghosting the counselor also, saying, no, it is not working out for me, I am not getting it, because they are seeking it for somebody else, they are hoping it for something else. So that is my point, that we have to unlearn that certain higher expectations we have learned because of society, and start maintaining a healthy boundary which we prioritize for ourselves.
Exactly. Kalyani, would you like to like add on something on it? Yeah.
Okay. Actually, sorry, I'm just going some off of the track, but the thing is, we are here to discuss some of the issues about stress. So I'm just learning. I don't have any answer, but I have some of my questions and some of my opinion regarding stress of my academic stress and why I'm like I'm just entered in my college. It's my first semester. My first semester exams are still going on. So those are some of the things that just triggered me. That why I'm doing this. Should I do this? So point wise, I just want to highlight the things that is very triggering me now. So nah.
Okay. Okay. Shubham sir also have raised their hand. So would you like to just add on something? Hello, am I audible? Shubham sir, am I audible to others?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I come in the middle, Sanjana?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Anytime.
No, I take the liberty of being senior to interrupt anyway. Now, you spoke of healthy boundaries. I'm going on thinking in my mind, what is this healthy boundary? निमृत बोल रही है, कल्याणी बोल रही है, हेल्दी बाउंड्री अकेले अपने आप से नहीं बन सकता है। हेल्दी बाउंड्री दो मिलके बन सकते हैं। देयर हैज टू बी, मैं बार बार बोल रही हूँ कि देयर हैज टू बी बिटवीन टू पार्टनर्स। you know often and on you'll find, if you have sibling, a comparison made by the parents between the siblings, and sibling rivalry start होती है वहाँ पे। There are umpteen cases where children have run away from home, or they have tried to attack their own sibling or somebody else out of jealousy. तो healthy boundaries अपने आप से नहीं बनेगा बेटा। Healthy boundaries बनाने पड़ेंगी with the help of partner, with the help of your parents. I also bring in the teachers. I have been a teacher throughout my life. Healthy boundary has to be between the teachers. Too much of pressure being built on the students. Too much of expectation the professors are having from the students, where they are failing, and not only failing to, complete those, they are being abused, they are being, belated, I will say. That also is leading to the stress, and this stress is so unsurmountable that they're committing suicide. Falling before a running train, metro, the other day in Delhi is something which is unimaginable. A child is doing it. So, you have to think on these boundaries. And when you talk of healthy boundaries, actually, that is an utopia. If you have healthy boundaries, then there will be no
Yeah.
stress. पर वो healthy boundary अपने आप तो नहीं बनेगा. Healthy boundaries कैसे बनाओगे ये सोचो. Okay? Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Very valid point added by ma'am that healthy boundaries cannot be made from one-sided. Like it is always
Can I
two-sided.
add?
Yeah, ma'am. Sure.
So healthy boundaries can be made by a few steps, very simple steps. What do you want in your relationship? Transparency or honesty? Honesty is I tell my partner that next week I'm having a reunion and I'll be going there. After the reunion, my partner sees photographs of mine with my ex on social media. But I told my partner that I'll be going and everyone would be coming. So everyone came. It's honesty. Another scenario. I tell my partner that next week there'll be a again reunion. All of my friends would be coming. The probability is high that my ex would also be coming.
Mm.
Would you be comfortable with it? That's transparency.
Exactly.
What do you want in your relationship? First step. Be very clear in your communication skills.
Yeah, that's it.
Feel what you are saying. Ma'am, often I'm blessed that Sanya and ma'am have taught me. So there's a very famous state one liner that used to be given by her that is never say yes when you want to say no. So learn that art. That art will never come just by me saying it and you listening to it. It needs a lot of time to practice because it becomes really difficult for many of us to practice that no. And let me tell you, similar happens with the kids also that let's say you just say yes to everything that they want in life. And at the age of 13, 14 years, you say no to something and kid is like, hello, excuse me. भाई उसने ना सुना ही नहीं कभी उसको क्या पता ना क्या है.
Mm.
He is not comfortable attending to that no. So if you have never said no to somebody and then you start saying no to somebody, आप बुरे बनोगे. Be ready for that also. So boundary set होती है छोटे छोटे steps से. Never be too available for people who do not respect you. आप किसी की help करनी है, be there. I always say be there. But always try and analyze, are you being exploited? So these are very small, small steps that you have to be very particular about. Sanjana, you can continue.
Yeah, very valid point added by Rashi ma'am. So, Rimjim, would you like to add on something? Kalyani, next you.
No, no, anything, no adding, but I have one question. How
Yeah.
to manage emotional thought and personal and professional life and family and goals? No, side.
Sorry, you were not audible clearly. Can you just repeat out your question?
Yeah. Uh, how to manage emotional thought and personal life and not decision clear goal. No.
Okay, so Shubhra ma'am, would you like to add on something that she's asking that how to balance the emotional life as well as personal life, like how to balance her emotions?
Yeah.
You know, I think, what I will say that, this all comes through learning and through practice. Immediately, you cannot, throw a balance between. I would like to share something. You being a psychologist, any one of you will know that Joe and Harry, they had brought out a formula, the four self in us.
Yeah.
That is, one is the private self. If I go wrong anyway, you can tell me. Rashi is also there. The public self. Then there is a dark self, and then there is an unknown self, which even now at this age, I will not be knowing my unknown self. Somebody may poke up and say, "This is your unknown self." But dark self exists in everybody. Now, here when we talk, I was talking of the word moral value, and then you came out with healthy boundaries. So, obviously, I used to tell Rashi, and even when I used to train my police officers and judges, I used to say, learn to say no. Maybe I was not able to say no to many people, but then I used to say easily, learn to say no. And they used to say, ma'am, it is easier to be said than done. Because they are in a setup where they cannot say no. They have to say yes. But when you are learning as a child, learning is a process. Learning develops your attitude. Learning develops your personality traits. Learning develops your inner self. If you say this is wrong and you try to say it in very pleasant words, even to your parents, I do agree, but I also like to disagree. They are words. You play with the words, and you'll find that they will sit up and listen to you. Today, the word I'm okay, you're okay has to be practiced. And then, these healthy boundaries जो बोल रहे हो ना, ये तभी बनता है, राशि लिखा है. Alright, there are steps. ये बनना है. Because that will enable you to develop a healthy personality. If you go on saying, I be the good child of my parents, then obviously submissiveness leads to what? You may be very nice, but their expectation increases. Finally, you're not able to do it. Healthy boundaries बोलना बहुत आसान है. Healthy boundaries बनाना systematic, strategic, time taking, planning, rationalization, जो भी बोलो. You have to have the courage to sit up and say, here is the boundary I have to develop. Most probably my parents are not able to get it. They are overstepping. Here I am. बैठ के बात करो. I always say that there should be ample time between the children and the parents, the growing adults, to have a talk. Always don't blame the social media. Social media तो पैसा कमा रहा है किसी भी तरह. Social media, you people are puppets in the hands of the social media. So don't blame the social media all the time. You have to develop within yourself that dark self. Public self को ज़्यादा encourage मत करो, private self को healthy ले आओ and bring the dark self out. And you'll find that you will develop. See, many a people, if you sit down and just ponder whatever I'm saying, all of you, and you look right and left, and you see there are many youth who are just going on quietly, not talking. There are many a youth who are laughing and talking and going. There are many a youth who are simply sitting at one place and gazing. Three types, having the same problem. How to solve a problem? So there, what is needed is they have to sit down and rationalize. They have to understand where they are going wrong. The healthy boundary बात मेरे दिमाग में घुस गया है. अब वो healthy boundary बनाने के लिए you have to have rapport. Rapport. अपने आप को अंदर झाँक के देखो. What do you need? You have all potentials. You have all environment. You have all amenities. Everything. But you don't have one thing. And that is the courage to say no. This is what I'm saying. So, मेरा तो ये मैं जो है राशि एक बात और सोच रही हूँ किसी with all these children who are listening to us, right? Now, if Shubham does, he draws benches of diary about whatever you say, and say this category of people should be followed up, like the parents and teachers, we can invite them and have a talk between the teachers and the students, parents and their children. That will be a healthy step to, I will not say to reduce the stress, at least to manage the stress.
But that would also lead to, ma'am, I personally feel management on a lot of levels, like the difference between the mindsets, the exposure, the expectations, the generational gap, I would say, the exposure of concepts which are still controversial for uh, for a generation that is older than mine, I would say, like LGBT and all that. Because you and I might be comfortable because of our experiences and exposure and our level of acceptance, but not everybody. We are living in a I love my country, no doubts, but we are living in a country where अगर आप दूसरे कास्ट में शादी कर लें या रिलीजन में शादी कर लें तो देयर इज ऑनर किलिंग
Yeah,
एंड वी आर
exactly.
टॉकिंग अबाउट द सेम सेक्स मैरिज.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So how difficult it would be to digest it for the generation. I think they need to prepare a lot. I am not saying it's their fault. No, it's not. जिस चीज का एक्सपोजर उन्हें है नहीं उसमें उनकी गलती नहीं हो सकती.
Mm.
बट वो चीज को एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए उनकी क्या हम हमें लगता है कि हर पेरेंट की उतनी साइकोलॉजिकल सोफेस्टिकेशन है या हर इंडिविजुअल की है कि वो उस चीज को समझ पाए. सो पहले मुझे लगता है एक सिर्फ पेरेंट्स का होना चाहिए जिसमें समझा जाए कि पेरेंट्स क्या चाह रहे हैं.
Exactly, exactly. हाँ.
फिर स्टूडेंट्स का हुआ जाए जिसपे समझा जाए स्टूडेंट्स क्या चाह रहे हो फिर दोनों को सेम प्लेटफॉर्म पे लाया जाए.
Mm. That's
अपनी 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 अवेयरनेस और लिमिटेशन के साथ.
mm.
I believe that parent put expectation from their children on the basis of their expectation,
It's
not from the.
assumption. It's assumption.
I feel like that because parents actually want a doctor needs their child to become a doctor just because they are a doctor and their
Mm.
entire family is in that profession. No matter what the personal choice, maybe the child won't be having no interest in medical. He wanted to go in JE or something else. So this is also a point. Anyone wanted to add something?
I think Rimjim was talking about something, if you ask her to repeat, she had a question.
Yeah, Rimjim, you can just on your camera and ask your question.
Yeah.
I would like to add something.
Yeah, Rimjim, come on.
Uh, I'm Kalyani.
Kalyani, I thought Rimjim had a question to ask.
Yeah,
No,
ma'am.
no, no.
Ma'am, my small sister only 19 years and suffering OCD and continue medicine KVMU.
You're not listening clear. Rashi will answer you. Just say again. Rimjim, please repeat.
Ma'am, my small sister only 19 years and suffering psychological disorders OCD and not control anything, no emotion, no any goals, no decision, nothing.
Mm.
Okay, see, Rimjib, OCD is definitely a mental health condition that requires management of both psychological and psychiatric. Medication does its work, which is 70%.
Rimjim, can
30,
you just yeah.
30% of the work has to be done in the psychological setting. Why? Because psychology and psychiatry together prevents relapse by 95%. Because that makes you aware of what exactly is the illness. Dawai lena is not the solution. The solution is that I should be aware what exactly is the nature of the illness. बीमारी का रूप क्या है? Today she gets okay, but then she stops taking medication because she does not understand. If she does not understand the need for the medication or the problem that she is dealing with, then what do you think? Will she ever be able to grasp the nitty gritty of her issues? No.
Never.
Then there'll be repetitive situations when she'll gonna leave the medication. So we have to see where we are lagging here. I think Rimjim's network went off.
Rimjim, are you there? I think she's facing some sort of network issue. So no issues. We can continue with Deepa Verma. She has
One
raised.
second, ma'am. I think network issue.
Yeah, now it's fine. You can just point out your question if you have any.
Rimjim,
Hello,
did you
good,
hear what she said?
good evening, ma'am. This is Deepa.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
मैम माय
Deepa.
क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम राशि मैम लाइक मैम आपने बहुत वंडरफुल बात कही कि पेरेंट और चिल्ड्रन को हमें सेम पेज पर लाना है बट हाउ इज इट पॉसिबल मतलब पेरेंट्स हैव ऑलवेज हाई एक्सपेक्टेशंस फ्रॉम द चिल्ड्रंस टू गेट गुड स्कोर और चिल्ड्रंस लाइक दे हैव सम प्रॉब्लम्स और उनका नहीं है इतना तो हाउ कैन वी डू दैट.
Yeah, I too have the same question, ma'am.
this is what I'm repeating right from day one.
Ma'am, main question is that I don't know about others, but I'm talking about my parents. That if I'm telling my parents about something that I'm doing this, I'm doing that, they'll be like, "Don't tell us what are you. Do whatever you want to do." So I just feel this that they are just not willing to listen. I don't like I if we want to build a communication there, I want my parents to sit with me and talk for certain things. I also want to tell them that what is happening. I also want to give the exposure that they are lacking. So I have to build that gap. But what I face is that my parents are like, हमको क्या लेना देना है?
How many how
We'll
many
figure
of
it out."
how many of you told your parents that you at any point in life you felt that you are not being heard by them? और आपकी नेटिव लैंग्वेज में, अंग्रेजी में नहीं।
There is a
आप
hand being raised. Should we
यस,
have? बहुत लोग raise कर रहे हैं.
आपकी नेटिव लैंग्वेज में जिसमें आपके पेरेंट्स को समझ आता है या उनका पहला थॉट आता है। लेट्स से इफ आई एम पंजाबी, माय पेरेंट्स गोना गेट देयर फर्स्ट थॉट इन पंजाबी, नॉट इन इंग्लिश और हिंदी।
Exactly.
If you are Malayali, your parents gonna get their first thought in Malayali, not in Tamil or Telugu. Convey in the language that they understand, because then there's a connectivity and there is a right selection of words for them. Second, जब तक हम लोग convey नहीं करते, if we are not conveying, we are just assuming things.
Yeah.
So first convey, then also if they don't listen, then let me know. You can connect, take my number. You can let me know. I'll give you a quick solution for that. But do express. I don't think so until unless there's some kind of mental health issue, any parent would come to a level where they want to lose their child. Until unless there's some mental health situation associated with it.
Yeah. Kalyani, would you like to add on something on it? You were raising hand.
No, ma'am, my doubt is clear.
Okay. I
No,
think that, yeah,
uh,
yeah, Shubhra ma'am.
no, what I think is now the family, the parents of today's, not yesterday's, they must also get counseling if Rashi agrees with me. There has to be relearning. That's what they have learned in their life, in their childhood. Adaptation and adjustability. These are two A's. And acceptability. You know, adaptability, acceptability, and adjustment are needed both by the parents and the children to come together on the same platform, right? And this dynamic should be there in the parents. They should accept that this child is now growing. I cannot be put the child under parental control all the time. If I'm okay, she's okay. So there comes the acceptability of the limitation of the child. Adapt to that and adjust. And you see, if this happens, there are many homes. If you go into the stories of famous people in this country and abroad, you will find they were all either they were dropouts or they were rebellion in their home, and they made great feats, achievements, because the brain is not going anywhere. It is working all the time. It's active. So therefore, on the same platform, if we get parents and children, or even if they're hearing us, they have to change. They have to change. Because, we are losing our children. They're growing away. They're running away. They are going into crime. They are going into violence. Even cyber crime. आज जो हो रहा है fraud, cyber crime, brain जो है ये बच्चों का काम कर रहा है. Because young fertile ground is always very productive where any new thoughts come. Always remember that. They are creative, they are constructive, and they can be destructive also. So parents must understand. I, as a parent, will repeatedly say that you in isolation cannot do anything. In isolation, nahi kar sakta. You will be going to the psychologist, you will be going to the psychiatrist, but why should you go? My question is, why should you go? If things are there at the root, if they're held up. So parents who are listening to us, they must relearn. They must relearn according to the given situation of today. This is what I'm trying to say. And
Yeah,
as for the schools and premises and colleges and all, of course, the teachers are also, they must move away from their old dictum and come out. There are many good teachers. There are many good teachers who are role models for their children, their students. So I
yeah.
think these, sorry,
Yes, ma'am. You can continue.
these cues, isko kehte hain cues, these cues should be kept in mind when we are looking up to a growing adult. He is not only adult, he is going to be a very good engineer, doctor, anything. Why engineer, doctor? They can be artists also. They can be dancers also, they singers also, anything. Why should you have a far-fetched thing, engineer ही बनना, मेरा बड़ा लड़का engineer बना तो छोटा भी बने? These things should be now done away with.
I am actually getting a third call from a hospital that I have a consultation with,
Uh-huh.
like OPD. So
Mm,
I just attend to that and I join back. There might
mm.
be some emergency. That's why they're giving me a call again and
Okay,
again.
okay,
Okay,
sure, ma'am. No
Just give
issue.
me like 5, 10, 15 minutes at
Yeah,
max.
yeah, yeah.
okay.
Sure. Take
Okay.
your time. Take your time. Yeah. Okay, Shubham sir, would you like to add on something?
Yeah, I hope I am audible now.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes. You are
yeah,
audible.
sorry, I couldn't able to turn on my camera because I am facing a poor network here. So I have been listening to all of the point and I feel like we have touched a very critical point and the points which are need of the hours. Like we started with the causal factor what lead to the stress and also we touched the pointers where we are not aware about how our mental health is affecting. And then we come up with the very crucial point that is maintaining the healthy boundaries. So we were discussing about maintaining a healthy boundaries among our relationship, but I think we should also learn to make a healthy boundaries with a digital platform like all the social platforms, social media and OTT platforms. Because just quote one example, I was in one of the retreat program where all the parents and the people, those who are working professional were there and I joined as a educational and counseling psychologist. So they when they heard a word psychology, they were asking so many questions and regarding their child getting aggressive. And I just asked a few questions with them. Ki, what is their lifestyle look like and how do you interact with your child? So in those interaction, there was one very crucial which I wanted to point out, कि when they are feeding their children, they are taking a aid of their digital screen or the mobile while feeding them. And so, why I wanted to point this out with the two perspective. First is the parents itself are not aware about how because it's reducing the cognitive load on them, so they are taking the aid of the mobile phone, like making them to play some games and meanwhile they are feeding the child so he or it didn't cry. So and other side they are making dependency over the child for the mobile phone and coming to the point when the child get older around like the adolescent or the teenager, so that child it is very difficult for child to maintain that boundary with the digital screen because he or she wasn't taught about maintaining the healthy boundaries with the social media platform or the screen. And there is a before moving ahead, I just wanted to ask how many of you have seen the documentary Social Dilemma? Have you seen the
Social.
documentary Social Dilemma? Okay, no one. I strongly recommend, like especially like we are from all psychology field, you should watch it. It's the executive from the whole social media platform like Facebook and the TikTok or the Snapchat. They were talking how the social media platform are designed to govern in that way कि they get addicted. There are societal cases are coming up due to the social media engagement. So that from that I get to know one hack or the tips I will say uh, which we can use from right now to maintain a digital hygiene or digital hygiene distance from the digital platform by turning off the notification from the setting. Because what notification does, it like kind of a whether it's a notification from the WhatsApp or any other social media, it's very addictive in itself. Like it's designed, the colors are designed in such a way which release a very pleasing hormone in our mind. So we are conditioned in that trap. So unconsciously we are governed by that app, so we are not aware about the time consumption that we are spending over that particular app. So when we turn off the notification, we are going to turn on the application when we need it, or when we want it to open, not when the social media platform need, or when it want us to govern. So this is a very crucial point I just wanted to share, like as we were discussing about maintaining the healthy boundaries. And second is just about the as we Subramaniam also touched this point, it's not about just speaking, we need to practice it. So like developing the self awareness, what do we want, and understanding our pattern. So there is also the very significant tool. I have been journaling since my 8th class. So it helps us to monitor our thoughts, our pattern, our belief system, our relationship with other people, and how our days went. Like as Rasi members pointing out, it's not easy to be transparent, or having a very transparent communication with even the partner or the friends. But we can be honest with our diary or the journal, where we can share our raw thoughts, which will help us to see ourselves naked, and that will help us to understand our pattern and the belief system, and which will further lead to like developing the healthy self image. So yeah, that two crucial point I just wanted to share.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shubham sir. A very valid point added by him, that we have to track ourselves, that what we are doing and how we will manage it. How much time to give on social media, how much time we have to open the notification and all that, because ultimately it's us who will be handling the social media. Social media should not affect us. We should affect us, right? So, Shrubi, would you like to add on something?
Yeah, I was listening to Shubham here, and I think when he said that parents are doing this, letting their child have the digital time. So this is happening with everybody around. We can see this all around ourselves. That a child of 3 years, 2 years, in fact, infant like a 7, 8 months old child is seeing videos or just normal poems is having a screen time, and this is biologically stated that it is affecting eye development, mind development, brain development, and everything, because a child till 5 learns everything and anything he's getting from his surroundings. So he's learning all kind of status. And when a child is being exposed to a platform where he can, surf through himself, then at a age of 3 or 4, where he's very curious about certain things, he'll start to wander around internet and maybe learn. And maybe I'm saying, but it is studies show that 80% possibilities that they will learn negative things, because we are finding negativity all around ourselves. Like I have this very matlab, familial situation with me, that my younger cousin learned abusive things from internet just because he heard labels saying that, and he was curious, and internet is the solution of everything. He was surfing and he learned these things. So the stress was on him and for the parents as well, because when they got the call from school counselor that your child is abusing somebody else, they were shocked that how the child is learning. But they never even thought that a 4-year old kid can go through internet and learn those things. So from starting to add settings there was the bestest thing we can do to ourselves, because we have to enable the child settings for ourselves as well, I feel like. Because somehow somewhere there is that 4-year old kid in our mind which wants that curiosity to be solved. Just because of that, we go through for every term. Like just now, as a very young youth, we are seeing ads for um, I don't know how many terms of being in a relationship with situationship, polygamy, and whatnot. So we are being stressed over that as well, कि ये सब क्या हो रहा है, इतनी सारी terms कैसी आ गई, we should be updated about it, when we are not supposed to normalize those things, we are not supposed to normalize cheating and everything, just because social media पे trending है and internet पे सब situations सब examples के साथ available है explanation, we are surfing, and then again we are learning the negative things subconsciously, हाँ, but हाँ हम learn कर रहे हैं, कहीं ना कहीं हम उसको show भी कर देते हैं. So I think when you are feeling yourself too much addictive to social media, आपको चाइल्ड सेटिंग्स इनेबल कर देनी चाहिए, जहाँ पे यू विल नॉट सी थिंग्स विच आर नॉट मेंट टू बी सीन व्हेन यू आर ओवर थिंकिंग और ओवर एक्सप्लॉइटिंग योरसेल्फ. और क्योंकि नॉर्मल बहुत इंडिया में एक लेमन टर्म है कि खाली दिमाग जब होता है तो यू विल फील नेगेटिव ऑल अराउंड, यू विल फीड योरसेल्फ नेगेटिविटी, एंड दैट इज हाउ क्रिमिनल्स आर मेड, बिकॉज उनका दिमाग उस टाइम ब्लैंक होता है एंड दे वांट एवरीथिंग एंड एनीथिंग टू बी इनकलकेटेड, एंड जहाँ पे उनको नेगेटिविटी ज्यादा एक्सपोजर मिलता है और वहां से उन्हें थ्रिल मिलता है, बिकॉज आर माइंड वांट्स दैट थ्रिल, कि जहाँ पे उन्हें एक होता है ना, ये वांट कि हमें रिलीज हो हार्मोनल एड्रेनलिन रश मिले एंड हैप्पीनेस मिले. तो क्यूरोसिटी में हैप्पीनेस तभी मिलेगी जब आपको एड्रेनलिन रश मिलेगा, व्हेन यू आर बीइंग लेजी एंड यू गेट समथिंग थ्रिलिंग. तो थ्रिलिंग इज बहुत ही देयर इज वेरी छोटा सा अमाउंट जहाँ पे थ्रिलिंग इज कुड बी गुड. लोग स्काई डाइविंग एज अ हॉबी कर रहे हैं, दैट इज वेरी नाइस, बट स्काई डाइविंग आप ये सोच के कर रहे हैं कि कल तो नहीं है, आज अगर if I die as well, that is a very absurd thought. So I feel like when we are feeling too much around ourselves, we should enable child settings to save ourselves.
Okay, yeah, very valid point added by her. We have lot many people, so you guys can just ask your queries. Please raise your hand, and even if you are not comfortable opening your mic, you can just add on your questions over the chat section, so that we have Shubhra ma'am as well as Shubham sir. So you can just raise up your queries. Okay, Saurabh, you can just carry on forward.
Thank you. So I am having just one question right now, and to Subhra ma'am. Ma'am, right now, I think the stress that one goes through is very much dependent upon the phase of life that one is, currently living. Like for a student, career is very important thing, but for a person who is married, I think securing the survival of his family is the most important stressor, right? And anyway, maintaining that. Right now, I am facing one more at this point of time with my, things that are going on in my life. I am facing a conflict, and the conflict is that I have seen that my many of the friends, like it's very well said now that we want to be the part of the group in which we, to which we are associating ourselves, right? So I have seen that my many of the friends have very thought which are very extreme and radical, and the thing is, I never support that, and what I'm trying to tell them, ki what you are trying to tell is just a perspective. That's not the absolute truth, right? Because everything is very subjective. For example, if we take any opinion on about any stereotype, for example, people specifically from any particular region or religion, so they are becoming so extreme about that, and I don't support that. And what shocks me is that most of the people fall on that dimension, that they have the extreme thought. Now I am feeling whether I am left out, that I am not having that thought, or their thought is very absolute or truth. So I am facing this dilemma. So, ma'am, what is the solution to it?
सौरभ ऐसा है, व्हाट इफ आर यू कंफर्टेबल विद हिंदी?
जी जी, ओके
हाँ,
मैम.
मैं दोनों में ही बोलूंगी. देयर इज वन थिंग सौरभ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, हु एम आई, मैं कौन हूँ. आज जो मैं आप लोग के सामने बैठी हूँ, बिकॉज आई हैव कम विद दैट आइडिया ऑफ हु एम आई, एंड आई गॉट इन टच विद शुभम on this youth in stress for that reason. Who am I? अगर you are certain about yourself, your self concept, क्योंकि उसमें एक वर्ड होता है इमेज. आप डायरी उठाइए और डायरी में आप लिखिए these are my thoughts regarding myself, and you just put in 1 2 3 4 5 तक रुक जाइए, the salient ones, and you go on reading and reading. You'll find You'll be convinced. These letters will become transparent to you. You say, I'm right. देखो दो इंडिविजुअल्स एक नहीं हो सकते. Your friend's thoughts and your thoughts have to be different. The moment you say yes to them, even though you feel they are different from you are not addressing yourself. You are surrendering to them, right? अगर आप जो है, इसीलिए मैं जो है मैंने खुद किया है, मैं लोगों को एडवाइस करती हूँ, मेंटेन अ डायरी and keep that concealed with yourself. That is your own self. That is who am I. और ये who am I को रोज आप प्रैक्टिस करिए. You will find that this will develop like anything. यही आपका प्राइवेट सेल्फ है. अगर आप देखते हैं कि लोग जो है दोस्त हैं उनके थॉट्स कहीं और जा रहे हैं, यू आर नॉट अग्रीइंग विद देम, मूव अवे. मूव अवे बिकॉज यू आर सरेंडरिंग टू देम योर ओन सेल्फ, जिसमें आप जो है परेशान हो रहे हैं. यू आर लूजिंग योर फ्रीडम, यू आर लूजिंग योर एक्सप्रेशन.
Means, ma'am, but the thing is ki what strikes more at this point of time is I have very clear self concept about me. I know that what I'm thinking, I am having very democratic thought. I am having very, like the thought which favors equality and which favors egalitarian thought process. I know because this is something which we have read throughout. This is something what our constitution says. This is something what for what we know the persons like like great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Nehru, and everyone whosoever else has got a good stature in this global world. They have been known for these principles. Even our constitution says that. So I know what my viewpoints are. They're very like resonates with what something should be, what something should be ideal, right? But what strikes me much is that many of the people whom I know, they all are against these values. And means I would not have been that much surprised if my one, two friends would have been like that. Now what I feel that most of my friends are on that dimension, on that spectrum. They feel that no, what these ideas are of having no significance at this point of time. So sometimes I feel that means I am very much clear about my self concept. There is no doubt about it. But that key I'm not belonging to that group which I used to belong earlier. And on just this one point makes me feel that whether I am right or wrong or left out, or am I only traditional in this like fast pacing world. So that is how to settle it, man, because I am very much clear about my self concept. At the same time they're my friends. I know that they're having very good qualities as well, but sometimes I feel why it's happening, like they are not able to understand such a small thing, although they are learning also having through this phase only. They have also learned the same books, same text, same country, same culture, everything same. But why they feel that no, these value systems are not matching with the current situation and demands. So that makes me a bit like disenchanted with current scenario.
This is what I'm trying to convey, Saurabh, that your personality is different from theirs. Now, if you merge your personality and your thoughts, even though they are different from you, even though you're not liking them, it is not something correct. It is not something rational. It is something which you are doing because you feel, अच्छा हो सकता है वो सही बोल रहे हैं, मैं
Exactly.
गलत हूँ. ये doubt है. This is dilemma. And if this doubt and dilemma is not cleared by you, you are in stress. Right? Stress तो आप ही create कर रहे हैं अपने आप. You have to sit down and think that whatever I'm thinking, am I right? इसीलिए मैंने कहा 5 पॉइंट डायरी में रोज सुबह के बना लीजिए. And you'll find that you are sticking to yourself and you know that whatever you're saying is right. आप वहां पे एक वर्ड है silence. जानते हैं ना? Wise people remain silent while others are talking. And when the wise person talks in the end, everybody listen to him. ये saying है. इसलिए
Yeah.
जब आपको लग रहा है कि उनके thoughts are not same to you, they are different, you are not agreeing, then you should not surrender because you will never be happy, you will never be satisfied. ठीक है, आपको जो है करना है, that is you have to stay to yourself and say I am right. आप इसको कहिए who am I? These are my thoughts. Am I right? अपने को सवाल पूछिए, अपने को सवाल पूछिए. You're matured enough to understand yourself. And the moment you'll understand yourself, you'll say, I am right. पर जब लोग बोल रहे हैं एंड यू आर नॉट अग्रीइंग, बेटर टू मेंटेन साइलेंस, कीप साइलेंट. आप देखेंगे लोग घूम के कहेंगे तुम क्यों सौरभ चुप हो, क्यों नहीं बोल रहे हो. उस समय जब आप बोलेंगे, it will carry weightage. And people will, there are some people who will listen to you. Always said, silence is golden. चुपचाप रहिए वहां पे, उठ के मत चले आइए, that will be an insult for them. But keep quiet and listen. And you will find that when you will talk, in the end, they will listen to you.
Exactly.
तो दिमाग में एक तो चीज ये बना लीजिए कि your habits, your attitude, your upbringing, your personality is different from them. As a result, thoughts भी different होंगे. और आप अपने के मेजर कर लीजिए, ये मेरे थॉट्स हैं, एंड आई वांट टू स्टिक टू दीस थॉट्स बिकॉज दिस इज हु एम आई, दिस इज हु एम आई. हु एम आई को इंपॉर्टेंस दीजिए. आप जानते हैं, एज अ क्रिमिनल साइकोलॉजिस्ट मैंने देखा जितने लोगों के हु एम आई बिगड़ गए हैं, दे सफर फ्रॉम डिजेक्शन, दे सफर फ्रॉम लो सेल्फ एस्टीम. क्योंकि जब हु एम आई बिगड़ता है तो लो सेल्फ एस्टीम भी हो जाती है. They believe that they are not being wanted, they feel unimportant. As a result, they rebel. और rebellion किस रूप में लेती है? Violence. Rebellion किस रूप में लेती है? Disobedience, insubordination, crime, heinous crimes. IIT engineers are also involved in cyber frauds, mind you. IIT में पढ़ने गए हैं, cyber frauds में चले गए हैं. So my point is, I believe, self-concept keeps you stable, consistent. आपका जो है अपना अपराइट पर्सनालिटी होता है, एंड यू विल बी अवे फ्रॉम एनी टाइप ऑफ नेगेटिविटी. इट विल इनेबल यू टू बी अ पॉजिटिव इंडिविजुअल. योर थॉट्स विल बिकम पॉजिटिव. आप ये मत कहिए वो लोग गधे हैं, वो गलत बोल रहे हैं, ऑल दैट. वो अपने थॉट्स पे बोल रहे हैं, अपने स्टैचर पे बोल रहे हैं, अपने अपब्रिंगिंग पे बोल रहे हैं. आपका अपब्रिंगिंग अलग है, आपका थॉट्स अलग है. बिकॉज पर्सनालिटी अलग होना जरूरी है. इवन इन द सेम होम, ट्विन्स ऑल्सो डिफाइन पर्सनालिटी. आप जानते हैं, आप अगर इसमें पढ़े हैं, as the child is growing, the personality is different. They may look identical, but their personalities are different.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. You beautifully explained that how self-concept and
Thank
self-esteem
you.
play an important role, because
Thank you.
having
Thank
our
you.
own identity is very important,
Hmm.
rather than just doing the things on the social basis. We have to put ourselves as the first priority rather than others. So, Saurabh, I think that your question is well answered by ma'am. So, yeah, we have
Also,
Raj.
I just wanted to add one thing.
Yeah,
Also, ma'am, it's like this topic is completely can have a different discussion. Self-awareness and self-concept. It's quite you can say deep topic. We can touch the different layer as well, like how identification of self-concept affect our communication with other people, using a relationship with other as a mirror to understand oneself. So there are crucial themes which can be touched in different section. So if as ma'am also mentioned initially, this is not our just a last focus group discussion. We will come up with more other theme as well, as spontaneously whatever it comes throughout the conclusion. I think this is something which is which we are observing, like self concept or self awareness, which is also can be used as an intervention for stress management or regulation. So if it's okay with everyone, we can conduct a poll in group. We can keep this theme for the next focus group discussion. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. I would like to, Shobham, I would like, before we conclude, I would like to suggest something. Take
yeah,
it as a flagship, in the sense that you have touched something very vital. Once a person reaches a middle age, that is maturity sets in. Then the person knows what he is doing or what she is doing, and they go on a steady rate. All the problems occur. I will say the word problem, though I shouldn't say as a psychologist, but all the problems occur during that growing stage, because that is a teething pain for both the parents and the child. Child feels, I'm okay, my parents are not okay. And the parents say, I'm okay, you're not okay. And the child who rebels says, if I'm not okay, you're also not okay. So we would stop this rebellion in the children, because this is coming from different spheres and losing young, bright people in crime, in suicide, in other traumas. That should be stopped and negated. तो ये मेरा कहना है कि एक फ्लैगशिप करो कि अगर फॉलो अप्स हो सकता है इसके एक के बाद एक. There are many people who have not come on your platform. There are many people who are listening to you but not able to speak out. They are bursting with it. There's a Saurav. Saurav को मैंने pick out किया कि he is losing his own identity. He has to settle down and say, those people are talking their thoughts, my thoughts are this. The moment he decides upon his thoughts because of his self concept and self esteem, he will not get यू नो वो नहीं होंगे, डिस्ट्रैक्टेड नहीं होंगे. तो इसको जो है एज ए फ्लैगशिप आप करते जाइए. वी आर देयर विथ यू. देयर आर मेनी पीपल हु विल कम फॉर यू. पेरेंट्स को भी बुलाइए शिवम कि यहाँ पे, क्योंकि कल टीचर्स आ जाएंगे. यू नो, वी विल कॉल द प्रोफेसर एंड टीचर्स, दे विल कम आउट देमसेल्व्स. कहीं ना कहीं इम्पैक्ट तो होगा. Why should IIT be spared? Why are the professors, they are thinking themselves they are gods? तो कहना है कि we have to touch on every subtle point. And our focus is youth. ये करना होगा इसमें.
Exactly, ma'am. It is a very important topic and it cannot be just covered in one session or discussion.
And it cannot
So,
be touched by one individual or two individuals. It has to be, a
exactly.
network has to be there.
Exactly. So I believe that we will definitely have more session with you on this topic in the future. So
Okay.
for now, we are just running out of time. So thank you so much for everyone. Anyone having any sort of question? A last round of checklist. We have Raj Nandini with us, and you can just raise your hand. A last question panel because Shubhra ma'am are with us, so we can just have a question if anyone having any query, or we can just conclude with it. Guys, you can just raise your hand if you have any query, or we can just conclude.
I think, you know, if you share the numbers, you know, become a catalyst group. Catalyst group के मतलब होता है एक group who is taking control of all this and who's helping, not simply going to the council. Like Rashi is there, I'm there. Share the numbers.
Yeah,
Phone
sure,
number.
ma'am.
And you know, anytime I'm always there. I'm free. I'm a retired person. So you
Yeah,
people will
thank
not
you.
be there. So anytime I will get, and I'm a mother to all of you. So anytime you feel कि मैम हम बात कर सकते हैं, I'll, if I'm busy somewhere, so I'll say, okay, you come at this time, I'll talk. So if my talking helps, it is a guide, I'll do it.
Yeah,
Right?
thank you so much, ma'am. Because I feel that some of the students feel bit some of the peoples are like introvert. They don't feel
Yeah.
openly speak on the public and all. So we would be definitely sharing the numbers.
Mm.
So thank you everyone for your valuable time. I hope that today's session was very meaningful and fruitful for all of us. So because stress begin actually early grow and quietly and need collective efforts from individual families and institute. So now I would like our three senior speakers. Thank you so much, ma'am. Would you like to add on a last touch up or something like for
Well,
us,
you
all
know,
of us?
I think, you know, this was in my mind for long. And being a criminal psychologist, I was all the time, you know, talking on criminality, how it develops, how it grows, and where it's going. I'm the first criminal psychologist in India. Now the thing is this, but my because I have worked among youth, those children who land up in observation home, as you said, counseling, I had been doing for them also. Then I have worked on projects on youth rehabilitation, lots of work on youth. So I felt somewhere in the corner of my mind, somewhere in the subconscious mind, somebody is telling me, what about the youth? Because everything originates from there. अचानक जाके कोई क्रिमिनल नहीं बनता है. ये जो है, जब कंसिस्टेंसी डिफर होती है, जब पर्सनालिटी में आई एम नॉट वांटेड आता है, तभी ये सब प्रॉब्लम स्टार्ट होती है. सो देन आई
Okay,
सजेस्ट.
ma'am. I think that Shubhi want to ask something. You can just put on your question.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think this might sound like out of syllabus question, but
No,
I
it's
think I met Shubhra ma'am in a conference, and she's I think IGCAP health psychology की conference थी मैम वाराणसी में, and I think you were the speaker there, and we met and we talked about the youth only. I
Mm.
asked her this is same question then, ma'am. How does the youth, how do we control youth to become a criminal? And she gave me a wonderful point that if we are seeing a child in the youth and treating a child, uh, the child in him, so we are actually saving him from being a criminal for himself as well, because a criminal is a criminal for himself first, then for the society. So I think that touched me. If I'm not wrong, that we
No,
met, I think.
I'm just wondering. I have forgotten, and you remember. Way back when Varanasi, we had a seminar, and you have remembered. That means, you know what? Remembrance also has a meaning. Certain thing which strikes us very strongly, it goes not into the unconscious, into the subconscious mind. And it raises when you see the same person talking on something, it comes up. So thank you very much for reminding me, and it is very true. Right at the ground root level, if the root is being taught that
Uh,
you are so and so, person will definitely follow the right track.
So
Hi
Rashi,
everyone.
Rashi
Rashi
ma'am
has
is
joined.
back with us.
I have
Yes.
joined and I took along because there was a case of suicide attempt by a
Yes.
13-year-old.
See,
13-year-old, that is what I was addressing through the video call, that what can be the psychological first aid here in the hospital with the pediatrician because no other professional was available that time.
that's
We
it.
were talking about stress in youth
Exactly.
and it was overdose of medications.
Okay.
So yeah.
Sorry, sir, Rashi. I just wanted to say one thing which came to my mind. That sense of belongingness, Rashi, you will agree with me. I've been telling you all also. That should be there right from day one. I belong to somebody. Now, like I think Shubhi was saying, or I don't know who, that when feeding the child, the mother puts the mobile in front, the child sees the mobile and gets fed. Finally, what's happening? The mobile is become the proxy mother. He doesn't need the mother. You let him lie on the sofa and mobile de do, a bottle de do. There he is. So how will that sense of belongingness come?
Ma'am, I remember during the COVID times, there have been a lot of researchers that have suddenly started saying there is an increase in the number of autism cases.
Hmm.
But that wasn't actually autism, that was something mimicking autism. Why?
Hmm.
Because parents were occupied 24/7 with the online working styles or the work culture that was adapted that time. And the kids were left with the mobile or cocoa melon and all these things, right? Now the problem occurred. I can see the mobile can't talk to me. So my vocabulary development and my expression of emotions reduced to the minuscule levels, to the ruts, to be very precise.
Yeah.
And problem occurred from there that I do not have any human touch to express myself. By the time parents used to get free, it's almost night and it's time for the child to sleep. And there was no schedule as such for the kids as well.
Exactly. Right.
So there comes what ma'am says, if we don't have a human touch or a proximity or the sense of belongingness, there are a lot of, mental health issues. It's like an onion. You keep on peeling and you'll figure out there have been traumas, there are small traumas, there are big T traumas that you have to deal with. And then these are the traumas that go on the generational section.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Very valid point added by Rashi ma'am. So anyone having any sort of query for Shubhra ma'am or Rashi ma'am, so you can just ask and you can just raise your hand, or else it is a topic that need a lot of session. I think that it cannot be covered in a single session, so we would be definitely having upcoming session regarding the same.
I
And
apologize that I joined late because of the emergency that I was addressing to. Second, is there any question that I can personally address with respect to clinical practice or management of any kind of stressor that is commonly faced by the youth? Like initially when we started, it was academic stress that we were talking about. So, is there any input that anybody requires from my end? Please feel to connect. Yes,
okay, we
Priyanka.
have Kalyani. Kalyani, you can just put your question.
Hello, ma'am. So my, so as I previously mentioned that I just entered my first semester. So what I feel that when I see people around me, I don't know if I'm judgmental or what, but I feel that the people around me, I don't nobody. So to be honest, they are my classmates, but none of them are my friends truly, because I feel if I be with someone who have the same mentality as of mine, that I we want to grow, and when I see people around me, they'll be discussing something that I kind of feel like childish thing. So it checking me, the thing that is triggering me, that am I too लाइक मुझ मेरे में ज्यादा वो है कि मुझे तो सबसे आगे निकलना है, कि मैं बाकी सबको जज कर रही हूँ कि नहीं
No,
नहीं कोई।
Kalyani,
हाँ।
Kalyani, I often laugh and say one statement to all my students, okay? And
हम्म।
to all my patients as and when required.
हम्म।
You are a human, not a rajma चावल कि आप सबको पसंद हो. वो
Exactly.
भी
This is
सबको
what we're
पसंद नहीं
telling
आते.
Shaurya.
वो
Yeah.
भी सबको पसंद नहीं आते. एक. दूसरा, if you have a lot of intellectual nag or insight, no, that you want to grab knowledge, you want things to happen, you want to know, there is a curiosity. So everybody do not have that wavelength.
हम्म।
A 22-year would act like a 22-year normally. But if you have a, let's say, if you are a neurodivergent, that is a term, I won't comment on IQ or anything per se. But if you have a neurodivergency towards, so you can always look up to somebody or have a wavelength with somebody who is a little elder in age. That will fulfill your need for the intellectual thing, right? And at the same time, if you have your friends of the same age, that would fulfill your need of belongingness. It's not necessary that you belong to the same class. Somebody you admire can be of the same age, can be of a different age. I have a professor who I admire like crazy. She is 70 because we have a common creative level. She also writes, I also write.
I
So
think
that
it's me. Is it
मैम
me?
आपसे तो इंटेलेक्चुअल वाला कनेक्शन.
Because she writes and I write both right
No,
together now.
I am talking about ghazals and nazm, that writing thing. So there I connect on that level. That is the fulfillment on a creative level that I get. With ma'am, I get an intellectual fulfillment. Now there is no comparison on the age level. Na? I can connect to anybody with whom I can match my wavelength.
That's it.
Exactly.
It is the wavelength. I
It's
think
a
Saurabh is getting it from you. Saurabh, it's the wavelength. The
and
word
it's
है.
not, huh,
Exactly.
अगर
Yeah,
it's
one of
wavelength
us
नहीं
have to
match
say.
कर रहा है, move away from that person. Yeah.
it's not that you have to have something that you have to fit in there. Trust me, if you're
Yes.
going to do that, you're going to try your level best. You fit in there. The day your degree going to get over, no, you'll never get back in touch with them.
Never.
And you know it. You know it. You're just doing that for the sake of doing it.
Mm.
That you have somebody, अच्छा ठीक है सब chill कर रहे हैं, I'll also chill.
Yeah,
But
so
you
true.
do your passion. You'll never get bored in it.
Like
But
मैं
if you're
मैं
getting bored, there is no point.
So the thing is that I'm doing my majors in psychology, so I'm doing some external thing also, and my minor is history. So I feel just like एक मेजर की डिग्री कर लेती हूँ, एक इग्नू से मैं मेजर की डिग्री हिस्ट्री में भी कर लेती हूँ, एंड मैं पार्ट टाइम ट्यूटरिंग के लिए भी जाती हूँ, तो वो भी कर लेती हूँ, और अभी मैं रिसर्च पेपर भी तैयार करता हूँ. आई फील लाइक कि मुझे बहुत कुछ करना है,
But
मैं चांस नहीं छोड़ना
but
चाहती.
but here you need just one thing, because there are a lot of people जिनके thoughts ना ऐसे भागते हैं. You can be one of them. ठीक है. So what you need is management of time. Make a timetable for yourself. So that ये सब कर रहे हो क्योंकि आपको करना है, but what your heart really falls for, you should have time for that also. It's like I love traveling, so I take out time for traveling. If I won't do it, I know that I'm gonna go bonkers. Ma'am also knows it. Ma'am often calls me and tells me कहाँ घूम रहे हो आजकल. So I tell her like I'm on a road trip. I'm off from the society for next 15 days. You follow your passion to keep yourself sane. You follow your heart, you do everything to keep your brain and neurons sane, that they
But
are still working well.
that anything other than academics, I consider it as a waste of time. That people are calling me for the fresh, they are calling me for everything. But it's like नहीं नहीं मैं नहीं जाऊंगी भाई, क्या
Now,
है.
this is called perfectionism, anxiety kind of a thing. Don't do that to yourself. See, I say another thing as well. When parents say ना कि यही उम्र है पढ़ लो, we have to understand one more thing. If you do the masti that you can do at 21, if you're gonna do that at 31, na, You'll be labeled with lot of terms. If somebody is having multiple relationships at the age of 21, they will say they are exploring. If somebody is having at 32, we'll say they are not stable or they are not settled. See the change in terminology. So
Exactly.
what you can do at 21, 22, your body and emotions and everything allows you to do it, explore it. Don't live with a regret. क्योंकि academics में रह जाओगे तो बाकी सब कब देखोगे?
Yeah, a very valid point added by ma'am that it is very important to be in ourselves rather than thinking about the society. Just enjoy your life, do whatever you wanted to do. So you will be stay happy and stress will be far away from you because if you are doing what you like to do. So a very valid point added by Rashi ma'am. So I think that we
Now
have
we should
covered.
conclude. Mhm.
Yeah.
I think we should conclude now.
Yeah, exactly. I think we have majorly covered most of the topics, and in future, definitely we will be having a lot of sessions on this similar topic because it is a very wider topic. It cannot be just bind up in a one session. So thank you so much, Shubhra ma'am. Thank you so much, Rashi ma'am, and thank you so much the youth, those who have participated. So yeah, thank you. Let's just have one photo because I'm looking so many smiling faces. So you can just open your camera, rim jim and all, so that I can just take a one photo. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was great having a discussion. So yeah, this discussion made the day. I hope that everyone enjoyed. Thank you so much. Yeah,
And
thank you so much.
one thing, Sanjana,
Yeah,
while we are leaving this place, we should always leave with some inputs. We should always leave with takeaway. The concept is takeaway from here. So, first and foremost, I think, give our phone numbers to them. So, one who are hesitant to talk on the portal can come on the phone. Secondly, anything that we are, sure we are listening, he's busy writing. The point is this, whenever we are talking, कुछ ना कुछ उसमें cues निकल के आते हैं from our experience, from our learning, which we can help you all. So the takeaway should be noted down by you people. So that next time when we have another, this type of discussion, it has to be effective. Remember, Sanjana, I always go for effectiveness. It should be not simply quantitative, how many people have come to that point. It has to be qualitative. How many people have gone away benefiting it? So your portal will become important. So these findings, as we say in research, they should be noted and taken up next time for discussion. Right?
exactly. Yeah, definitely, ma'am. We will be sharing the numbers over the group. We have separate group for this. Secondly, the pointers of the today's session would be definitely shared by you all so that you can just go through with it, what things have been discussed, in order to just keep a track of it. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then thank
Okay.
you to all of you. Madhulika has joined now. You can have Madhulika, you want to say something? Yeah. Because she has been there with us in all our portals and I especially invited her to talk. Madhulika, would you like to share your thoughts here?
Yes, ma'am. Would you like to share anything? I think your
From
mic is.
5 o'clock, I'm listening to all of you. And as usual, heads off to you. और मतलब बच्चों ने भी बहुत अच्छा इंटरेक्शन किया है. मैं तो उनको बोलते धन्य है वो लोग जिन्होंने इतना अच्छा फ्रैंकली डिस्कशंस किए हैं. और मुझे ये लगा कि जो अभी तक हम पहले कर रहे थे उससे मैंने ज्यादा एंजॉय किया यहाँ पे.
Exactly.
हालांकि आई एम नॉट दिस फील्ड से नहीं हूं मैं, और फिर भी मुझे मैडम के साथ जब भी मैं कहीं भी ऑनलाइन होता है मैं जरूर ज्वाइन करती हूँ मैडम को. तो मुझे इतना अच्छा लगता है और बहुत अच्छे पॉइंट्स उनको मिलते हैं. इस उम्र में भी मुझे भी पॉइंट्स मिले बहुत अच्छे अच्छे. ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई एज, कोई लिमिट, कोई लर्निंग का एज कोई फिक्स्ड होता है. यू
कोई
कैन
learning का
लर्न
age
ऑन
नहीं
एनी
होता.
स्टेज. मैम
Anytime.
अभी मैं डिजिटली अरेस्ट हो गई थी.
हाँ?
मैंने क्या किया, वो लैंडलाइन पे फोन आया तो आई थॉट एयरटेल वालों का ही होगा. दे सेड आपके इस नंबर, आपके नाम से किसी ने मुंबई में लैंडलाइन रजिस्टर करा हुआ है और उसपे क्रिमिनल एक्टिविटीज चल रही है. तो ऐसे लैंडलाइन पे तो अगर फोन कर रहे हैं तो एयरटेल वालों का ही होगा. देन शी सेड हाउ इट इज पॉसिबल कि नहीं कहीं मिस आधार कार्ड मिस यूज हुआ होगा मैं सोच रही हूँ मैंने तो आधार कार्ड भी अपना लॉक किया हुआ है। सेट मैडम आप जानती हैं इसकी सीवियरिटी। मैं भी बेवकूफ बन गई, मैंने क्योंकि कुछ दिख तो रहा नहीं था मुझे, मैं यही मान रही थी ये आपका कंप्लेंट नंबर है, ओनली हैव टू गो टू द बांद्रा। सेड हु विल गो टू द बांद्रा यार? सेड ओनली वी कैन हेल्प यू, कि ऑनलाइन कनेक्ट कर देते हैं पुलिस स्टेशन से। वहां मुझे बेवकूफी लगी कि मैंने ऑनलाइन कनेक्शन के लिए कंप्लेन लिखने के लिए एग्री किया, और जैसे ही किया तो उसने व्हाट्सएप नंबर दे दिया, फिर डिजिटली ओपन। थोड़ी देर तो मैं समझ वो करती, मैंने कहा आप जितने पॉइंट बोल रहे हो ना, इसमें से मेरे को ना मेरा कोई बैंक अकाउंट नंबर है, इसमें से कोई भी नहीं है, और मोर ओवर मेरा आधार मिसयूज नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि वो लॉक्ड है। नोबडी कैन टेक पिक्चर ऑफ फ्रॉम माई आधार कार्ड और सब। थोड़ी देर फिर भी 3 घंटे उसने मुझे बर्बाद कर दिए मेरे। तो मेरे को लगा कि मैं कहीं बेवकूफ बन रही हूँ लग रहा है। दो ये डेंट आस्क मी माय अकाउंट नंबर, यानी कुछ नहीं पूछा था उसने, कोई लिंक नहीं उस तरह से पूछा था। तो दैट वे आई एम सेफ। एंड थोड़ी देर में बोलता है आप नहाइए, ये पर ऑन रखिए, फलाना करिए। मैंने उसको दीवार की तरफ कर दिया, मैंने कहा थोड़ी देर तू बैठ अपना ऐसे ही करता रहे। फिर थोड़ी देर बाद स्विच ऑफ कर दिया मैंने। फिर अभी तक कोई फोन वगैरह ऐसा दोबारा नहीं आया। पर आई थॉट हाउ आई बिकेम फूल ऑफ इट। तो मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि हम भी बन जाते हैं, देखो क्योंकि
देखो ऐसा है
मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग
मधुलिका,
खाली लैंडलाइन से हुई मेरी।
मधुलिका देयर इज अ सेइंग टू एयर इज ह्यूमन, है ना, गलती
या
इंसान से ही होती है। बट द
जी
पॉइंट इज दिस, यू इट हैज अ लर्निंग पॉइंट, सीख लिया। अब जो है बंद कर दिया करो, जब भी आई क्लोज इट, यू नो, आई एनी टाइम एनीथिंग कम्स
मैम, ओनली लैंडलाइन की वजह से मैं कंफ्यूज हो गई क्योंकि मुझे वहां कुछ दिख तो रहा नहीं था। मैं सोचा इस पे और तो कोई फोन नहीं करता, हो सकता है एयरटेल वालों का ही हो ये। इस तरह से मैं कंफ्यूज हुई। अगर इस पे आ रहा होता मोबाइल पे तो मैं इमीडिएटली वो कर ही लेती।
Shall I give you a solution? I've learned
या
from experience. You say, okay, you Airtel people, आप मेरे घर पे आ जाइए और हमें बताइए. The moment you will say that, they will close the phone. यही करो. मैंने 2-3 बार किया. आप मेरे लिए, मैं तैयार हूँ, आइए, मैं बात करती हूँ.
अब
They
जब
close the
ऑन
phone.
रखा ना, धमकी क्या दे रहा है व्हाट्सएप पे, अरेस्ट वारंट भेजू। मन तो माना था गालियां दूं 2-4, तेरे बाप की हिम्मत है क्या अरेस्ट वारंट भेजेगा मुझे। पर मतलब मैं ये कह रही हूँ, मैं इस उम्र में भी मैं मतलब बेवकूफ बन गई।
And you've
एटलीस्ट
been in
3 घंटे तो मेरे वेस्ट किए उसने।
you've been the director of FSL and got it done. तो ये हो रहा है. इसीलिए, you know, you have to be careful. Careful तो होना
या
जरूरी है.
या और आप तो एआई का जमाना है मैम, और भी डिफिकल्टीज आगे आगे और कॉम्प्लिकेशंस बढ़ेंगे ही इन
हाँ,
चीजों
हाँ.
को लेके इस तरह से। तो बच्चों, आई एम रियली हैप्पी आप लोगों ने जो मैम के साथ जितना अच्छा इंटरेक्ट किया है, एंड शी इज अ रियली जीनियस पर्सन। तो जितना एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो प्लीज डू इट फ्रॉम हर,
हाँ.
राइट?
And if I'm not able to reach your this thing, then it will be a problem. The expectation should not be there so much. But yes, I am for you all. I'm there. You are my children. And Madhulika knows, you know, that I feel attached when people want to learn from me.
Yes.
Probably I'm also learning from you all. As she said, there's no end to it. I'm learning from you all. Okay? सो ये जो है लेके फाइंडिंग्स, इसको नेक्स्ट सेशन में जब भी आप लोग तैयार रहेंगे, आई एम देयर विथ यू. यू टेल
Yeah, definitely, ma'am. We would be having new sessions with new concepts and all. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. So yeah, thank you so much.
God bless everyone.
थैंक यू
Yeah,
मधुलिका फॉर कमिंग. थैंक यू
yeah.
ऑल ऑफ यू. थैंक यू वेरी
Thank you.
मच.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank
Bye.
you,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much.